Vanta has enabled our security team to be trusted among business partners like sales and customer success, as well as our customers and prospects.
My name is Nicole Tobias, and I am a senior counsel at Ironclad.
Ironclad is a contract lifecycle management platform, and our mission is to power the world's contracts, and we want to do that by building the product that legal teams love. Prior to using Vanta, we had all of our controls listed in a spreadsheet, and we were dropping all of the evidence requests into a Google Drive folder and linking to it in the spreadsheet. It was very manual, very time-consuming, and we had to do it every year for every framework. As our compliance program scaled, we realized that this manual process was not going to scale with us, so we needed to look for a tool to help automate a lot of that evidence collection. We chose Vanta for a couple of reasons. On my CISO side, he really liked how robust the tool was, considering their stage of growth and the competitors in the market. It was very user-friendly. We kind of knew how we were going to start to implement it right away. I knew we were going to get the attention and the support and the individualized care that I thought we would need.
Vanta enabled our teams to be very efficient and focus on other priorities and minimize the work and time that we're spending on audits while remaining compliant.
If I had to estimate, I'd say we've saved hundreds of hours that would have been spent on audit preparation, and we've been able to take that time and work on other projects and priorities. Since we brought Vanta on, we've remained SOC 1 and SOC 2 Type 2 compliant, and then also we have achieved ISO 27001 certification, 27701, 2717, and 2718. So within a year of implementing Vanta, we added 4 certifications. Partnering with Vanta was absolutely the right decision for our team, and it shows every time we go through a renewal cycle. It's not a, are we going to renew? It's, are we going to renew for a few years this time and just commit? Because we know we love them, we know they're not going anywhere, and we love partnering with them.
Please welcome to the stage Vanta CEO Christina Cassiopo.
Hello, welcome to Vantacon 2025. It's incredible to see how much this community has grown over the last couple years. We got a full house here in San Francisco, folks still coming in, thousands more joining us online. It's great to be here. Every year, Vantacon brings together the people who are shaping the future of what trust means for businesses. And so what's in store for Vantacon this year? Well, we think our theme says it all. AI is rewriting trust. So what do we mean by that? I think we can all agree that AI is changing how we build and run our companies. We can also agree that it's increasing security complexity and risk, and that raises the bar. Ultimately, trust comes down to transparency, consistency, and doing what you say you're going to do. At Vanta, we even have a principle that captures that idea. Do what it says on the tin. In other words, earn trust by doing what you say you'll do, again and again and again. We're so serious about that at Vanta that every new hire gets a tin of cookies mailed to them when they join Vanta. This is the tin, shows up at their door. And in addition to being, delicious cookies, these tins tend to set on folks' desks as a reminder to be true to their commitments, the commitments we make to one another and to you all, our customers. So that's what Vantacon is about for all of us. And throughout the year, we work really hard at being tinny, as we say. And we're always looking forward to coming here every year and celebrating with you all. And also hopefully helping you all grapple with building trust in today's noisy, chaotic landscape. We have so many incredible customers here today. You'll hear from many throughout the day. And first, a huge thank you to the speakers who will be coming up onto the stage and sharing their stories and joining us here. There's also some folks in the audience who've been with us since our very first Vantacon 4 years ago. It's Anne from Databook, I saw last night, I think she's in here somewhere, and Rob from Banyan Infrastructure. I'm also thrilled to see so many new faces here as well. If it's your first time at Vantacon and you see me wandering around, please come by and say hello. I also want to acknowledge our partners and sponsors. Thank you all so much for helping make this conference meaningful. You're all a critical part of our team, and we couldn't do it without you. So let's give everyone a round of applause. When we started Vanta in 2018, we set out on a mission to help companies earn and prove trust. Hopefully, you all feel like we're making that a little bit easier for you each and every day. Because trust is fundamental to business. We all use it to choose who to work with and what we buy. But it can also be hard to pin down what trust actually feels like. So I wanted to share a story that brought some of what trust is or can be to life for me. Okay, so audience poll. How many of you have taken a Waymo? Oh, less than I expected, maybe like a quarter to a third. Okay, so if you haven't, I recommend it, at least for the story value. But the first time I saw one of these things in San Francisco, I couldn't imagine actually trusting it. So this early model, it was like part car, part robot, very strange, about 10 years ago. There were cameras everywhere, and it was this kind of weird white car like lurching down the street. They had safety drivers. The safety drivers looked nervous. It just seemed strange. That's what all the headlines said too. So flash forward a couple years after that, and the first time I actually rode in a Waymo was with my friend Peter. So Peter is a Waymo engineer, this is Peter. He's great. Most of the time, Peter is coding, but one part of his job is actually riding around in the cars to get a sense for the experience. And so one Saturday, he lives in Menlo Park, drove up to San Francisco, we got breakfast. Very officially, he had me sign a release form. It was actually just a Google form, which felt like not official. But anyway, we did that. He pulled out his phone, he hailed a Waymo, and we climbed into the backseat. And then for the next 90 minutes, we turned into tourists in our own city, pointing out landmarks, directing this small white car around, watching it kind of bob and weave and get a little confused sometimes. And initially, I was on high alert. We were in the back seat, no one in front, but the steering wheel was moving on its own. It was pretty creepy. I kind of wondered, should one of us get in the front seat and be ready to grab that wheel? What's going on here? Peter was unfazed because again, it's his job. And so we just started talking, really talking. And somewhere in that conversation, I relaxed. So by the end of the ride, I'd stopped paying attention to the car and I'd forgotten it was driving itself. So fast forward to today, self-driving cars or driverless cars are among the safest vehicles on the road, Again, if you haven't taken one, recommend it before you leave San Francisco. And in these cars, their systems are always on, always learning, always improving, creating a safer, more efficient experience for everyone. It's still early days for self-driving cars, but to me, they're a great reminder that earning customer trust doesn't just happen. It needs to be engineered and designed into the experience itself. And when we're at our best, this is how we think about building products at Vanta. So to make that more concrete, here's an example of how we do that. So one of the products we'll talk about later today started as a conversation with our customer advisory board. This is the board a couple months ago at dinner after a session. So this new product is called Customer Commitments, and we built it hand in hand with the folks in this photo, many of whom are also sitting in the audience. We shared early concepts, we got feedback, we were refining this product until we thought it solved a real need for their teams. We actually had another meeting yesterday morning. Sounds like we're actually kind of getting close. Folks seem very excited about it. It was a neat kind of close the loop moment. So Customer Commitments is now in private beta. With some of these, again, same folks. If you see them, go ahead and ask them about it. When we were talking about it yesterday morning, we heard that it brings peace of mind to their teams. It's strengthening their customer relationships. And I think it's a great example of what we believe that when products build in trust, it becomes the engine that powers their growth. And the data backs this up. So companies that are trusted grow 4 times faster than their peers. And that's a remarkable advantage. But here's the thing. Most companies are trying to keep their trust program running with outdated parts. So if you would bear with me, I'm going to stick with a car analogy for just like a little bit longer. And I think most companies are driving something that looks like this kind of beat-up old clunker. It's definitely not self-driving. It may or may not get you where you want to go, but it's slow, inefficient, probably breaking down, probably needs AAA, and you wouldn't trust it to take you or a customer anywhere important. And I think trust is too important for any of us to drive this car. So now, imagine the autonomous car version of your trust program. It's a system that's always on, always learning. It runs safely and intelligently while you stay in control of your journey. Vanta's agentic trust platform makes this all possible. It brings together compliance, risk, and proof, supercharged with AI agents to help every organization earn and prove trust continuously. Our Chief Product Officer, Jeremy, will be on stage shortly to talk more about this, and we'll have lots of demos. Before then, just another quick note. Today, there's 14,000 companies using Vanta, from first-time founders to global enterprises. And I want to tell you about 3 of these companies and how we work together. So first, Factory. Factory is a startup building software development agents. And with Vanta, they've saved hundreds of engineering hours across ISO 42001 and other frameworks because of the transparency that Vanta is bringing to their security program. Because of that, their team can ship faster and stay ahead in a hyper-competitive market. Their CTO, Eno, sits on our startup advisory board, where he's shaping the future of AI security for hypergrowth startups everywhere. Next up, Clay. So Clay is combining AI and data to transform how go-to-market teams work. And as they've expanded into the enterprise, Vanta has helped them scale their security program. They say that consistent work has saved them well over 6 figures and helped them close deals faster. You'll hear from their security engineer, Dong Ting, later today about how they've turned security into their scaling superpower. And finally, GitHub. So they rely on Vanta to manage security and compliance across thousands of employees and tens of thousands of customers around the world. And with Vanta, they've automated their security questionnaires, saving the team a huge amount of time. The Vanta AI agent is answering about 80% of the questions they're getting on the first pass. And that's also helped them, all of that data, turn those customer questions into business insight. So Megan, GitHub's Director of Customer Assurance, is here with us today. And she's also been part of our product advisory board for the past 2 years. And her feedback has helped us ensure that Vanta is working with the world's largest enterprises. Stories like these are why we do what we do. When companies can earn and prove trust continuously, they unlock their next level of growth. So next, I'd like to share a short video from our customer Snowflake showing how they've built continuous trust with Vanta.
One of the challenges of modern businesses is they have data everywhere. It's really hard to bring it together to make sense of it. There's been data silos for a long time. Each of those have security concerns and there's privacy concerns to move it. Trust is everything at Snowflake. Because we house the world's data, we need to be as good, if not better, than any of the alternatives around security and compliance of that data. We have to meet the requirements and then we have to prove that we're always retaining the security posture that we promise. And then communicate that to customers clearly and confidently. Prior to Vanta, we were spending a lot of time on the communication part of the equation. We spend probably 2,000 to 3,000 hours a year or more doing that manual process. So we were looking at ways in which we could repurpose some of our awesome team's time towards more valuable interactions with customers.
With Snowflake's scale and size, we processed thousands of reports every quarter. Vanta was able to save around 1,000 hours for us. Since we went live, Vanta really helped us reallocate our resources to other big-ticket items.
We achieved ISO 42001, one of the industry-leading standards for AI governance. That certification alone is what a lot of our customers are interested in seeing. And now we make that available as a featured certification report in Trust Center.
Working with the Vanta team has been a delightful experience. Vanta was able to meet Snowflake's unique needs and requirements as we address global security compliance.
The product was flexible, the team was flexible, and we could deploy it quickly. The impact is in the order of magnitude of 1 to 2 FTE that we were able to repurpose. It's gone towards higher value interactions with our customers, helping the sales teams accelerate sales cycles. I'm very bullish about where we're headed and our team and our ability to continue to provide trust for our customers.
Great. Well, Snowflake is a respected global enterprise, and they still work to build trust with their customers every single day. To learn more about how they and other companies are doing that, I'm thrilled to welcome our Chief Product Officer, Jeremy Epling, to the stage. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina. What you just heard, that trust has become the new engine of business growth, is exactly what shapes our product vision at Vanta. My team's mission is to take abstract ideas and turn them into something measurable and manageable. Because you can't really do much if you can't measure and manage trust with precision. And then it becomes a true competitive advantage when you can. Every company's trust journey starts with 2 connected goals: earning trust and proving that trust. You earn trust by demonstrating your security foundation to your customers, to your vendors, to your auditors, and to your board. And you prove trust through continuously strengthening that foundation by managing risk, monitoring threats, and acting on feedback from customers and partners. These 2 motions feed into each other. It's a cycle that keeps trust growing stronger and stronger. And we need a new kind of trust engine. One built for scale and designed to power a continuous cycle of proving and earning trust. And that's exactly what we built with Vanta's agentic trust platform. It powers 3 critical pillars: compliance, risk, and proof in one connected system. And each pillar strengthens the others. Compliance ensures the right controls and frameworks are in place. Risk helps you identify and prioritize the threats that matter the most across your organization. And proof lets you communicate it all clearly and confidently to every stakeholder. Under the hood, the agentic trust platform is powered by over 400 integrations, constantly pulling data from all across your tech stack. That data enables continuous monitoring and proactive workflows, agentic workflows, and automation that doesn't just alert you, but acts on your behalf. It's a living, learning system that scales with your business. It strengthens your security posture and makes it easier to prove trust continuously. And at the heart of all this is the Vanta AI agent. And today, we're introducing the Vanta AI Agent 2.0, a 24/7 GRC engineer with total program awareness. It orchestrates end-to-end workflows across your entire Vanta platform, keeping every part of your trust program in sync and continuously improving. And it's powered with the context and memory of your program. It knows your frameworks, your controls, your systems. It exposes program gaps. It recommends next steps and suggests actions on critical work, helping you stay audit ready all the time. For compliance, the agent automates the full evidence lifecycle, from generating tailored documents to collecting evidence. For risk, it oversees your entire vendor review lifecycle, all the way from discovery to due diligence to continuous monitoring. For security assessments, the agent handles inbound questionnaires from end to end, analyzing your responses, identifying gaps in your compliance program. And with memory and awareness built in, the agent now provides a more personalized guidance than it ever has before. And today, our platform is operating at incredible scale. Vanta continuously monitors over 268 million resources. This is all the way from servers to employees to ensure that they remain secure and compliant continuously. We've helped companies remediate more than 2 billion vulnerabilities within SLAs, tangible proof that security and speed can go hand in hand. And together, our customers have launched over 6,000 trust centers, each one accelerating deal cycles, simplifying customer reviews, and building trust at scale. And these numbers are more than just milestones. They're proof that visibility and automation are transforming what's possible when business makes trust central to how they operate. That's the promise of Vanta's agentic trust platform, built for scale, powered by intelligence, and always on. It brings compliance, risk, and proof together in one system, giving you the ability to prove trust and power growth. Everything you see today is powered by the Vanta AI agent. And we're going to show you how the agent plays across 3 key product areas. Vanta for Enterprise, our solution for complex organizations balancing many business units, product lines, and geographies. The Risk Graph, which gives leaders unified, continuous visibility across enterprise and third-party risk. And as the product Christina teased a little bit earlier, Customer Commitments, this one ensures every promise made to a customer is tracked, monitored, and delivered. And each of these builds on the same foundation, one integrated, intelligent system that helps every organization earn and prove trust continuously. But now, let's jump to my favorite part, and hopefully it is for you too, the demos. So Vanta started as a product built for startups. Over the last couple of years, we've scaled our platform into an enterprise-grade solution. Because trust is mission critical, whether you're a small 10-person startup or a 10,000-person global company. 77% of leaders told us that stakeholders now demand verified proof of compliance, and that is up 12% from just last year. At the same time, compliance is getting more complex. The average company now spends 12 working weeks a year on compliance, and this burden continues to increase. The size of enterprise businesses brings new challenges. Multiple product lines, hundreds of business units in distinct regions all across the world, each of them with their own risks and their own requirements. And that's why we've reimagined the Trust Engine, powered by automation and guided by the Vanta AI agent. And to see what this looks like in practice, let's imagine Horizon Mobility, a fictitious EV company expanding into new services. Horizon started out building autonomous EVs, but as they grow, they needed to earn and improve trust to their major partners and suppliers. They began with SOC 2 and ISO 27001. Horizon used adaptive framework scoping in Vanta to easily define which people, system, and assets apply to each framework, with Vanta automatically keeping everything up to date through our live integrations. And they're not alone. Today, real Vanta customers have scoped over 11 million resources, cutting audit costs, reducing risk, and gaining better visibility into their compliance posture. Horizon recently acquired Pathway, a wireless EV charging company that brought PCI into the picture. Horizon needs the flexibility to scope PCI just for Pathway, while still leveraging shared requirements across SOC 2 and ISO 27001. With adaptive business unit scoping, they can do just that. It lets enterprises mirror their business structure directly in Vanta by product, service, or region. They can assign ownership to the right teams while maintaining a single system of record. And meanwhile, the Vanta AI agent keeps control synced, evidence up to date, and compliance programs continuously audit ready, no matter how complex the environment becomes. Horizon is able to transform security and compliance programs from manual, fragmented efforts to an adaptive system that scales with their business at every stage. And to illustrate these capabilities, I'd like to invite Kat and Malvika from Vanta on stage.
Hi everyone, I'm Malvika, a product manager here at Vanta.
And hi, I'm Kat, and I'm on the Vanta GRC team, but for the purpose of today's demo, I'll be playing Grace, the CISO of Horizon. So let me go ahead and zip up my pit suit, and we're good to go.
Awesome, thanks for joining us, Grace. So tell me, what's happening at Horizon?
Well, we just did an acquisition, and their PCI program isn't where it needs to be. We have a lot of work to do.
What's top of mind?
Well, for starters, PCI doesn't involve all the systems and people that SOC 2 and ISO 27001 do, so we need to ensure it's scoped accurately. Then there's still quite a bit of framework overlap, so I'm interested to see what's already covered and where we have gaps.
Interesting. That's super common for companies that have multiple business units or that just went through an acquisition. Let me show you how Vanta can help. Let's start by opening your program dashboard. Right now, it's summarizing your progress across ISO and SOC 2. But now that you've acquired Pathway, you'll want their program reflected here as well. That's where adaptive scoping comes in. It helps you control which assets are available to each business unit or framework, so everyone only sees what's relevant for them. We'll start by creating a new business unit for Pathway, selecting ISO, PCI, and SOC 2 as the relevant frameworks, and hit Create. Here, you'll see all the frameworks tied to Pathway and can go one level deeper to finish setting up PCI. You'll see all your required controls in the middle and the scoping panel on the right. Adaptive scoping helps you break down your setup by systems, personnel, and vendors. When it's time to set up your systems, Vanta automatically pulls in all of your connected ones like AWS, GitHub, and Azure. For PCI, we know that we want to narrow the scope to only those accounts that actually handle customer payment data, so we'll turn off Horizon Core since it doesn't touch that data.
Nice.
Next, for personnel. Because Vanta already syncs directly with Okta, all your groups are already visible here, making it super easy for you to limit PCI coverage only to those teams interacting with the payment systems. You can review the changes and hit save. So even as your company is growing, new systems, new teams, adaptive scoping keeps everything current without the manual upkeep. Now that PCI is scoped for Pathway, let's take a look at how Vanta helps you avoid doing repetitive work with the Common Control Framework.
Okay.
Here, we're taking a look at the control for internal vulnerability scans. It's needed for PCI, but it's also needed for SOC 2 and ISO. Vanta connects all of these requirements under one shared common control, the vulnerability management process. And when you click in, the Vanta agent actually highlights what's shared across all of these frameworks and what's unique. For example, Vulnerability scanning is required across all of your frameworks, but PCI specifically requires those scans to be conducted quarterly. So rather than tracking 3 slightly different versions of the same requirement, you manage it once with full visibility into where it overlaps and where it diverges. Now that our controls are synced, the next question is, how close are we to actually satisfying our PCI requirements? Let's see how the Vanta agent helps you run a quick gap analysis. Back on your dashboard, the Vanta agent has given you a summary of all your progress and is flagging 2 remaining gaps. It's found 2 in your policy documentation. For the first, it's flagging that you're not specifying how sensitive data should be handled or deleted. You can click into that respective policy and see a short summary of what's missing, and then open up that recommendation will trigger the Vanta agent to actually tell you exactly what you need to change. Here, you'll see your current text in red and the suggested updates in green, all written in your team's tone and structure.
Sorry to interrupt, but how is Vanta making sure the policies match the rest of the policies in our stack?
That's a great question. The agent is actually learning about your policy stack based off of your tone, your structure, the formatting that you've used. So all of the updates that it's recommending, they sound like your team and not some generic template. You can see that in action here. So the agent shows that this context was retrieved from its memory. Now, back to the policy update, you review the changes and hit apply, and see the new version merge instantly. Next, let's check out your gap in your identity and access management policy. Here, the agent's flagging that your multi-factor authentication requirements are too vague. PCI needs MFA enforced for everyone. You also know that this will require some broader process updates. So incorporating these changes may not be possible directly into the policy, and you want to create an issue for follow-up. The agent pre-populates the issue with a title, the corrective action, and the owner. So all you have to do is hit create.
Wow.
And the agent will handle the rest. Now, when you head back over to your dashboard, you'll actually see the readiness view update. In just a few clicks, you've fixed one gap, created accountability for the other, and your PCI readiness updated automatically. That's the power of running a gap analysis with the Vanta agent. It doesn't just spot what's missing, but it helps you close the loop fast. Okay, Grace. Let's fast forward a few months. It's now time to prep for your PCI audit. This is where Vanta helps you capture your auditor's evidence requests and instantly map them to what your team has already uploaded in Vanta using information request lists. We'll start by creating a PCI audit right here in Vanta. We'll turn on controlled audit views, so you only see the data, you only expose the data to your auditor that you need to, and select auditor request list as the import type, since we're working off of the checklist that your auditor sent over. Once you upload that list, you can hit create, and Vanta automatically builds the audit workspace for you. Now, you can see every item from that list mapped against existing evidence. The agent also flags any gaps, so you know and your team knows exactly where they need to focus. Let's open one of those flagged requests. This one's about cardholder data flow diagrams. Here, the agent's showing that the uploaded diagrams are incomplete and missing a few payment systems. You can go ahead and get those diagrams updated offline, upload the new version, and as soon as they're in, the agent closes the gap automatically and asks if you want to mark the evidence as audit ready.
So what if my auditor has their own tool that they prefer to work in?
Totally. Your auditor can review and validate the evidence in whatever system that works best for them. And with Vanta's API, you don't have to worry about re-uploading evidence, long email chains, or any other type manual tracking.
This is going to make the audit process so much smoother.
Exactly. It's all about making audits faster, cleaner, and more collaborative. So to recap, we just showed you how the Vanta agent helps streamline control management and close audit gaps before they ever reach your auditor. What did you think?
I love how the PCI environment can be scoped as its own business unit. This saves a ton of time. We're also getting ready to partner with the government to expand our services across the US, and we'll need to segment this data from the rest. Is there a way to view these new programs alongside our current one?
Great question. Let's get Jeremy back on stage, and he'll walk us through Organization Center. Thank you.
Thanks, Malvika and Grace. Horizon's new partnership with the DoT means that they need program visibility while keeping that data separate. A space where they can view program health and see the status across their entire compliance program. And late next year, that's where Organization Center is going to come in. It will allow Horizon to create secure organizations for each business unit, acquisition, and product line, while still rolling everything up into a single system of record. This is the next phase of managing enterprise programs at scale. Horizon now has every part of their compliance program connected. But with that foundation, trust isn't static. New tech, vendors, regulations introduce new risks every single day. Managing risk is paramount in protecting your business from trust erosion. But building a comprehensive risk program isn't for the faint of heart. In fact, 57% of IT leaders have terminated a vendor relationship due to security concerns. And that's a lot of lost revenue, but not because their technology isn't valuable, but because of how they manage risk. And when we talk to customers, we hear the same things again and again. We track internal risks in spreadsheets, while third-party risks live in a separate compliance system owned by a different team. My team is stuck filling out questionnaires and scrambling to respond when incidents happen. And reporting across company risk is nearly impossible. The reality is risk management has historically been an unorganized, time-consuming, and reactive process. Often internal and external risks are handled in silos, creating inefficiencies and worse outcomes. But at Vanta, our own risk register used to live quietly in the background as well. Security team managed it in the silo, risks weren't actionable, and progress was hard to measure. But now we've turned our risk register into a visible dashboard that drives security improvements across the entire company. Vantans can submit risks when they see anything at work. They then review the most critical ones in real time and track them through to all the way to resolution. The relevant function and leadership can engage with it, empowering us to make smarter and safer decisions. This methodology is the basis for how we've built Vanta's risk products. Vanta gives you the tools to unify your risk program, making risk program proactive, structured, and actionable. Our enterprise risk management suite has multiple risk registers. Teams have spaces to assess relevant risk, while leadership has high-level visibility to understand their organization's entire risk posture. Folks can comment directly on risks and drive alignment with multiple approvers to ensure visibility to the right stakeholders. For third-party risk, we have the Vanta Exchange, a place where vendors and buyers can come and collaborate in a central space with a secure login. The agent enhances the experience with vendor AI answers and AI-flagged findings, making the process more efficient and easier for your teams. And today, we'll show you what that looks like in practice. Let's bring Grace back to the stage, along with our risk product manager, Jordan, to take you through it.
Thanks, Jeremy. Grace, can you share an example of a time where risk management at Horizon has gone wrong?
Well, we all have our stories, but our biggest challenge is more about visibility than any specific incident. We have over 100 risks logged across the company, and it's hard for our teams to know what exactly applies to them. This means real issues are getting missed.
That makes sense. We've heard from our customers that it's hard for teams to track and manage their risks. Let me show you how Vanta can help.
Okay.
Our platform has multiple risk registers, which means Horizon's security team can create dedicated spaces for IT, financial, privacy, and vendor risk. Each register has segmented access, tailored management, and filtered reporting for leadership insights. Now that your security team has created multiple registers, the next step is ensuring each register reflects the unique needs of the teams using it. Each register in Vanta is fully customizable. Team risk managers can define custom fields and categories that fit their workflows, ensuring clarity and consistency across the organization. Now let's take a closer look at a risk scenario within the IT risk register. Let's say your team is concerned about a privileged employee exfiltrating customer data from core systems. You log this risk scenario in Vanta and link it to the customer data systems asset group, tying the risk directly to affected assets. This creates a real relationship between the risk and the systems that pose that risk.
Okay, so can you show exactly what's tied to each risk?
Yeah, that's right. Because the scenario is connected to real asset data, your team can instantly see the affected asset group's ownership, criticality, and system details, enabling smarter, evidence-based risk scoring. After Horizon defines the scenario in its IT risk register and scores its inherent risk, they decide to mitigate it. Vanta's AI-suggested controls speed up this process by quickly identifying the most effective mitigating controls. Your team can use this information to set residual risk and ownership. Now Horizon has defined and scored a risk scenario in the IT register, but it's important to note that risks don't live in isolation. They contribute to broader categories of enterprise risk. Once defined, this risk scenario rolls up into the broader enterprise risk of unauthorized access or disclosure of sensitive data, one of Horizon's top business risks. And related scenarios like a cloud misconfiguration or third-party breach also feed into this category, creating a complete view of all pathways for data loss. This structured roll-up replaces scattered risks with a full picture showing leadership which teams own which risks, what's being done to mitigate them, and the overall residual exposure. And Grace, when you have to report to your board, Vanta's enterprise risk views make it easy for you to present a clear snapshot of top risks, trends, and progress without sifting through granular details.
I love to hear it.
All right, now let's talk about third-party risk. Every big business uses vendors to help with efficiency, but each vendor they add opens the door to new risks. Grace, what's your biggest challenge with third-party risk?
The process to evaluate each vendor is complex, and approval is needed yesterday. We have to understand what data the vendor is using and the risk it creates. And my team has to chase down answers from both internal stakeholders and vendors.
Yeah, I hear that. A lot of customers tell me that managing third-party risks just feels overwhelming. They're stuck filling out a bunch of forms instead of focusing on what matters. We've automated a lot of these manual steps, and today we're excited to share how AI can make the process even faster and smarter. Let's take a look. When one of the teams at Horizon requests a new tool, they can submit a simple intake form that flows into Vanta's TPRM solution. The request is automatically enriched with additional context, such as the vendor's data access levels, services provided, and business criticality, so procurement can assess inherent risk instantly. Vanta's procurement integrations and AI risk recommendations create a structured, efficient process that aligns with Horizon's risk tolerance. Since this vendor uses customer data, uses generative AI, and is business critical, we've automatically categorized it as a critical inherent risk and suggested the appropriate assessments to conduct. Today, we'll walk you through a security assessment, but Horizon can conduct legal and privacy assessments as well for this vendor, all within Vanta's TPRM solution. Now, let's begin the security assessment by collecting evidence. Traditionally, this is where vendor reviews get bogged down. Long questionnaires, manual evidence collection, and back and forth that can take weeks to complete. With Vanta's AI agent for third-party risk, evidence collection and analysis are automated. The agent gathers data from the vendor's trust center, breach history, and supporting documentation, giving teams a rich foundation of information as soon as they begin their assessment. Using that evidence, the agent analyzes the vendor and summarizes their security posture, highlighting strengths, gaps, and high-risk areas. Users can review the questionnaire, vendor controls, and where the agent has flagged items that require deeper review. Instead of combing through hundreds of responses, Horizon's security team can focus their attention where it matters most. After reviewing the summary of evidence and vendor controls, the agent can automatically request follow-up information to fill in gaps, as well as recommend next steps for risk mitigation. And all of these follow-ups are shared with Horizon's vendors directly in the Vanta exchange, so they know the actions to take.
This makes sense for new vendors, but what about the risks of my existing vendors?
Great question. We also know third-party risk isn't static. It changes as your vendor's systems evolve, as new vulnerabilities are discovered, or as sub-processes are added. After onboarding, continuous monitoring keeps vendor risk current, helping Horizon track each vendor's attack surface. Alerts notify your team about new risks with context, severity, and suggested mitigation, prompting timely action or reassessment when needed. With Vanta, Horizon can turn third-party risk management into a continuous life cycle, from procurement to monitoring, ensuring ongoing visibility and control. Now back to Jeremy to take you through what's next for risk.
At Vanta, we don't just build for our customers, we build with you. In every product, every feature starts with your feedback and your needs. We just showed you how we're adding agentic workflows to make risk management faster and smarter, and now we want to take it a step further. You've told us how you want to connect risks across every layer of your business, because most tools stop short. HR and access tools stop at people. Security tools often stop at infrastructure. CSPMs can flag misconfigurations, but stop at who has access. So you're left wondering what that means for your business. All those stops create fragmentation and risk silos, but that is all about to change. Today, we are thrilled to announce the Vanta Risk Graph. Every signal from Vanta and all of your connected tools flow directly into the risk graph. So you can see how everything fits together in real time across all of your assets, your systems, your endpoints, your people, your controls, and even more. The Vanta AI agent synthesizes all the data from the risk graph to help you cut through the noise and make decisions even faster. So when a contractor has the wrong access, you won't just get an alert. You get the context with clear and actionable mitigation steps. Picture this. One of your vendors is breached. The Vanta Risk Graph instantly pulls together data that normally lives in separate dashboards. Vendor access, cloud configuration, and control evidence. It shows exactly how that vendor connects to your environment, which systems and people have access, and the data that is at risk. And on top of that, the Vanta AI agent analyzes the full picture, surfacing what matters the most and guiding you through response steps. Things like rotating credentials, terminating access, reviewing affected data, and notifying your customers. We're working with design partners to bring the risk graph to market next year, and if you're interested in joining us on this mission, please reach out. So far today, we've talked a lot about how you can manage risk and strengthen your compliance program to earn trust. Now, let's turn to how you can prove trust to your customers and your prospects. Through our questionnaire automation in Trust Center, customers have streamlined their security process and assessments by 87%. This means the majority of inbound questionnaires and information requests, once handled manually, are now automated, saving significant time and effort. Now, we're taking that a step further with the Vanta AI agent for proving trust. It automates your security assessment so you don't have to get involved until the very last step. And here's how it works. Customers or their agents can navigate to your Trust Center to self-serve information on your program. Then the Vanta AI agent will fully automate questionnaire workflows, bringing you in for that final approval before responses are sent back. All of this feeds directly into the agent's memory, flagging conflicts, suggesting improvements all across your program, and getting smarter over time. And with everything you've put in place, you'll be able to show the real impact of your trust program through clear metrics and dashboards and ROI. But as we know, closing the deal is only just the beginning. True customer trust is reinforced over time. After the contract is signed, you've often made explicit commitments to your customer. That could be through MSAs, DPAs, and custom terms. But tracking and upholding those promises, it's essential, not only to maintaining trust, but also to securing that renewal. Customers have told us there's no reliable way to manage these today, especially custom obligations that fall outside of standard terms. Things like sub-processor change notifications that can have tight SLA windows, custom breach response timelines, sometimes as short as 24 hours, and one-off commitments buried deep in red lines. And in the event of an incident or an audit, teams scramble to understand who they made these custom commitments to. And that's why we are excited to announce customer commitments. It gives you one place to track, uphold, and act on every promise you've made to each of your customers. Your compliance and security and legal teams all share a unified view of those commitments. What's been made, what has been met, and what needs attention. For the first time, you can see the full trust journey. It starts with automated, streamlined security reviews during the sales cycle and continues with honoring those commitments after the deal is signed. Craig Schwartz, General Counsel and Head of InfoSec at Nominal, has been building customer commitments with us through our early access program. And I really love this quote from him. Customer commitments is exactly what teams need to manage obligations with confidence. So let's welcome Grace back to the stage, joined by Ivan from our product team, to walk us through how this all works.
So Grace, how do you prove trust with customers today?
It's definitely not a simple process. My team is constantly responding to questionnaires. We're always looking for ways to automate security reviews so we can unblock the sales team. But the biggest pain comes after the contract is signed, when we need to start fulfilling and tracking our security commitments.
That's interesting. Can you give me an example?
Sure. Let's say we experience a data breach. We have specific customers we need to notify within 1 day instead of our standard SLA of 3 days.
And how do you track those commitments today?
It's pretty piecemeal. I mean, we're still using a spreadsheet. Some commitments live in our CRM, some are in Slack, and occasionally we have to refer back to the original contract. Things get lost in the mix.
I'm happy to say you're not alone. We've heard that same pain point from many customers, and my team's working on a solution I'm excited to show you. Let's take a look. Let's say the sales team at Horizon is working on a deal with a new prospect, Gradient. One of Gradient's first priorities is understanding the security posture of Horizon. They will start by going to Horizon's Trust Center. The Trust Center empowers prospects, customers, and their agents to instantly access information, evidence, and answers needed to complete their assessment. And with the Trust Center, you don't need to dig through documents to find what you're looking for. You can simply ask a question and get what you need. And whether that request comes from a human or a machine like Gradient's agent, the experience is consistent and intelligent. We're making it easier for your customers and prospects with an agentic Trust Center. Now, behind the scenes, the Vanta AI agent has created a profile for this prospect, Gradient, automatically pulling in key details like ARR, region, and products under evaluation to generate a dynamic customer profile. Now, with this profile in place, Vanta powers a personalized trust experience from the very first interaction while ensuring all the right documentation like NDAs is in place before any sensitive information is shared. Now, let's say your prospect Gradient needs more information. They can submit a questionnaire directly to the Trust Center, and the agent will instantly start processing the questionnaire. And then the Horizon team would see that new questionnaire populate directly in Vanta. From here, the agent will continue to automate the questionnaire from end to end. It extracts the customer's questions, drafts accurate responses based on the agent's memory, and tailors responses accordingly based on the customer's unique profile, like region or product, as well as your company's preferred style or tone. And if the agent encounters questions it can't answer, it automatically routes them to the right subject matter experts in the tools they already use, like Slack. And in Slack, with clear citations, reasoning, and guidance on what information needs to be provided. Experts can reply right in Slack, and their answers sync back into Vanta automatically, and the agent can also send reminders to make sure nothing falls through the cracks. Once all those responses are collected, the questionnaire goes to a final approver. The agent automates everything from end to end while keeping the human in the loop at the most important moment, the final sign-off. Grace, now you don't need to get involved until that very last step.
Nice.
Once that final sign-off is received, the questionnaire is sent back to the customer. And beyond returning to the completed questionnaire, Vanta delivers an enriched response experience directly through the Trust Center, with linked documentation, including page numbers and sections, as well as controls. Customers get exactly what they need, and all you had to do was review and approve. All right, now let's fast forward. A sales rep at your company just closed the Gradient account. Now that the deal is signed, it's time for your team to track and uphold every commitment made as part of the deal. Those contracts are synced from Ironclad. The agent extracts key security and compliance commitments. For example, if a contract specifies that the business must notify the company about critical vulnerabilities within 24 hours and remediate them within 10 days, Vanta will map that commitment to related controls and identify any program gaps around remediation SLAs. The rest of these commitments look good, so I'll approve and track. All commitments roll up into a structured dashboard where they can be continuously monitored. For commitments tied to security controls or events tracked in Vanta, like vulnerabilities, annual audit reports, or pen tests, you'll be notified when you need to take action so you can stay on top of your SLAs even when they differ across customers. Now let's fast forward even further out and see that reminder in action. A critical vulnerability has been identified. Vanta notifies you when you have notice commitments to address and provides a structured view so you can act quickly and confidently.
That's huge. When a critical vulnerability is identified, knowing exactly which customers to notify and when is going to save hours of time.
Exactly. And Vanta tells you which customers to contact, when, and how. And right from this view, the agent will help you draft tailored notifications to ensure your outreach is timely, clear, and compliant. So here you are, demonstrating trust during the sales cycle, but you continue to do so long after the deal closes. And Vanta not only helps you manage that ongoing relationship, but delivers reporting and insights to continuously improve your program and demonstrate ROI. So here, the Vanta agent continuously surfaces gaps, flags conflicting answers, and identifies trends in what customers expect from your compliance posture. And as you make improvements over time, you can monitor the impact. Now, let's say you want to report to the ROI of Horizon's Trust program to your board. With Vanta's reporting capabilities, you can show that ROI of your entire trust program. You can track things like the business influence, things like deal cycles and revenue. You can also track the business impact of customer commitments. For instance, Vanta can show you how committing to non-standard terms has helped you close accounts worth over 1.5 million ARR in just 1 month. Proof that trust translates directly to revenue. That's the power of Vanta's customer trust management. We're helping companies like Horizon manage the entire lifecycle, from streamlining security reviews during the sales process to honoring commitments throughout the customer relationship. So Grace, now that you've seen the full demo, what are your thoughts?
This is so cool. It's going to make it way easier to stay on top of commitments and follow through with them.
That's so great. We can't wait to get this product into your hands. Well, that wraps up all of our demos today. Grace, any chance you could call a Horizon car to pick us up?
Already one step ahead of you.
Thanks, Ivan, for a great demo, and a big round of applause for Kat for playing the role of Grace as the CISO. So here's a quick snapshot of the features you saw demoed and when you can expect to see them in your environment. But before we move on from product announcements, I'd like to give you a little early sneak peek into 2 other areas our team is investing in, starting with privacy. Privacy isn't just a compliance requirement. It's a core pillar of risk and trust management. As data grows in both volume and sensitivity, companies must know how to handle it and be able to show it. That's why we're expanding Vanta's privacy capabilities and bringing privacy management into the same system GRC, security, and compliance teams already rely on. This isn't just about checking the box for GDPR or ISO 27701. It's about giving organizations the complete view of their privacy posture with the tools to manage risk with confidence. With new capabilities for data inventory, ROPA management, and soon DPIAs, Vanta helps teams move away from siloed tools and manual spreadsheets to one connected platform that brings together compliance, risk, trust, and now privacy. The first features roll out in December 2025 with full support for global privacy frameworks soon after. And if you're working with the US government, or maybe you're planning to, compliance is a non-negotiable. And that's why we're launching Vantagov, our GovCloud hosted environment built specifically for federal and public sector customers. It's on path to FedRAMP moderate authorization and supports the frameworks and workflows required to win and keep government contracts. From SSP automation to integrations with AWS GovCloud, Vantagov gives you the tools to prepare with confidence. So today, we've talked a lot about how Vanta's platform helps organizations scale trust. But without all of you guiding the product, Vanta wouldn't be where it is today. And that's why Vantacon is one of my favorite days of the year. It gives us a chance to hear from you, the leaders and practitioners who are redefining trust and what it means. I'm excited to continue this conversation with someone who is leading from the front. Please welcome me in joining Josh McKibben, Senior Director of Trust and Compliance at Snowflake. Thanks for coming today. It was great to see you in the video earlier as well.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Obviously, we've been talking about how AI is rewriting trust. I think it's really transforming security and GRC teams. How do you think that impacts the future of GRC teams? Like when you think about hiring, what skills you're looking for, how is that changing for you?
Yeah, I thought about this question quite a bit. I think there's fundamentals that stay the same, but then there's some things that absolutely are changing. I think about kind of 5 key areas when I think about skills. First is you have to have security domain expertise. That's not going to go away. We still need people that understand what security means and how it operates, ideally depth in a couple areas and broad knowledge everywhere. That's a good GRC skill set. I think the second is they have to understand the business. AI is not changing how businesses work and operate. Well, they do, but and so you have to really understand the business first. That's a key skill set that I don't think is going to go out of fashion. I think the third thing, again, not changing with AI, and it even makes it more important, is collaboration and the ability to work with others. Like, that's not going to go away. So I would say those things stay the same, but the 2 things that I think do change and that I'm looking for and we're developing in my teams are data and AI. The ability to analyze data, to interact with data, and then the ability to guide agents and use AI in the daily jobs that we're doing. Those are the 5 key things that I'm looking for and that we're trying to build within our teams.
Yeah. That makes sense. And you mentioned around thinking about the business impact of all the work that you're doing in the data. How do you think that factors into kind of the ROI of trust in GRC teams? Like when you're talking to your board or business stakeholders, they don't know all the security jargon. They don't know really what we're talking about sometimes. Like, how do you think about proving that and communicating out so everyone understands the impact of security?
Yeah, well, I think, ROI, return on investment. So you make an investment and you get a return that's greater than, the investment and by some margin. And so I think about that in terms of what are the investments that we make. And we make investments in people through full-time equivalents and contractors. We ultimately, on the cost side of that equation, includes handling times of processes. You talked today a lot about vendor risk management and audit cycles, how much time people spend in those areas. That's a direct area of the cost side of the equation. And then I think the friction that we end up costing the business sometimes also needs to be considered because we end up sometimes delaying product launches closing contract deals. So that's some of the investment that we make. Also, obviously, audit costs and those kinds of things. But the returns I measure, and we talk about at Snowflake in terms of new workloads.
Yeah.
Customers, new customers, new workloads, new regions of the world. Each of them have regulatory requirements as well as sophisticated security and sovereignty requirements that all need to be met. So the return side is new revenue, new workloads, also reduction of audit findings across time.
Yep.
And one or two that we've recently been pushing in our audit teams is the reuse goal. How much evidence are we reusing across all audits, and how much of that is being automated? So all of those kind of represent some of the return side of the equation.
Yeah, so definitely a lot. You mentioned automation, AI. Obviously, those have been two big themes at Vanta for a long time. A lot of the announcements today. Was there anything, what got you the most excited that you heard about today?
Well, overall, I think that GRC is ripe for innovation with data and AI combined, and I think your vision is right in par with kind of how I've been viewing how we're going to combine Snowflake-enabled data at Snowflake coupled with AI, and so I think vision-wise, it's right on track. I think there's probably 5 or 6 key use cases that I see are ripe for transformation. Again, I liked that you guys were articulating those. One thing that we've done most recently is the customer questionnaire automation piece. We didn't quite do that with Vanta. We used Snowflake AI and Cortex for that. But we've been able to automate questionnaire upload, multi-tab questionnaires, as well as multiple file uploads. And we've seen a 44% reduction of our team's efforts doing customer questionnaires. So we're very excited. And I'm happy that many of the customers out there are going to benefit from some of the features that you talked about there.
Yeah.
And then a couple others, the vendor risk space, hugely ready for transformation.
Yeah.
I think the framework management, identifying new changes that are coming to these frameworks and regulatory. You know, most people spend a lot of time paying outside vendors and others to be specialists in these areas. AI is going to do great for helping us there, and so I think a lot of those use cases you guys laid out is certainly where we're thinking as well.
Yeah. Any advice for people on like where the future of AI is going? Like you mentioned a couple things. Obviously, your team's doing a lot of work internally. Snowflake's a leader in this area with Cortex and many other things. But any parting wisdom for people?
Well, I would say that there is no really good AI without a really strong data foundation. That's kind of Snowflake's mantra. We were kind of mobilizing the world data a couple years ago. Now we're doing more with data. Those are our mantras. So I think that one thing we all need to get really clear on is that data is at the heart of good AI outcomes. I think secondly, we need to focus on business value. I think there's a lot of sexiness involved in running and using AI day in, day out, but we need to prove that value. Yeah. And it's not entirely clear that the cost benefit associated with running some of these things are going to be there for some of these use cases. So I think we need to iron it out. Last guidance would be, I see a world in which humans are working side by side with agent co-partners.
Definitely.
And we're optimizing what agents do best and what humans do best. And so AI is, analyzing data, collecting data, analyzing data, maybe building reports and helping to automate. But humans are there to provide guidance, focus for what matters most to the business, interpret those results, and ensure transparency and communication with trust. That doesn't go away. And so I think those two things need to work together. So my guidance is stay as high on the value curve as you can, learn AI, use data day in and day out, focus on the business, and learn your security domains. And I think you're going to be in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thanks so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks. Take care.
And if anything may have whet your appetite that Josh said, he has a talk coming up in a little bit, Trust, the New Enterprise Currency, so be sure to check that out later today. And if I could leave you with one final thought, please remember that people in this room, you are the ones that are building the systems and community that will define the future of trust. So spark up a conversation with your neighbor, add someone new on LinkedIn, and enjoy the awesome sessions that we have planned for you. And for those of you joining on our live stream, thank you for tuning in. For those here in the room, we have a panel hosted by Vanta's own CISO, JD Hansen, right after this. But before I pass it off to JD, there's one more thing I want you to look at. We have an amazing video about Vanta AI, and you can see it in action right now.